Bearer of the curse, seek misery. For misery will lead you to greater, stronger souls. Lest this land swallow you whole, as it has so many others.
Dark Souls 2 is an amazing game, and more than likely, many fans of the series will never argue over that fact. Instead, I believe in the same way people prefer Demon's Souls over Dark Souls and vice versa, that many will debate over which title is the most extraordinary out of the bunch. This is because at its core, Dark Souls 2 is technically and mechanically a very similar game to both Demon's and Dark Souls, but it actually finds a harmony between the two, taking ideas from the past Souls franchise and building upon that to create yet another superb entry into this hard-as-nails action RPG. The Souls franchise is a series built on a foundation of difficult challenges and an overwhelming sense of accomplishment for conquering those obstacles. And like Demons and Dark Souls before it, Dark Souls 2 carries the torch admirably. I'm not gonna lie though, as an avid Souls fan I was disappointed with Dark Souls 2 at first. If anything, the franchise is known for grips of merciless boss fights, and at the twilight hours of my 70-hour journey to finish the game, it took me nearly 4 hours of gameplay to encounter my first boss. In reality, what this truly speaks volumes about is the vastness of the new world, Drangleic. Taking place thousands of years, if not eons, after the events of the first game, Dark Souls 2's world design feels enormous and open-ended while also being beautifully grotesque and mystifying. From watching the sun-drenched waves lap against the ruins of Hades Tower, to the bioluminescence of poison moss reflecting off the tar pools of Black Gulch, Drangleic is a constant reminder of the beauty and terrors found around every corner. And make no mistake, there are definitely terrors to be found. Dark Souls 2 is first and foremost a dungeon crawler, one where your guard is up and you're afraid to peek your head around the corner for fear of getting it chopped off. And trust me, no matter how skilled you are, you're gonna die. A lot. But if you can make it back to where you died, learn from your mistakes and recover your bloodstain, no progress is lost. This time around though, the more often you die, the more your character will convert to an undead state, losing chunks of their health pool along the way. This health loss can be reverted with a somewhat rare item, but the impending health penalty makes careful inspection of your surroundings and skillful combat techniques more important than ever. Luckily, combat and gameplay is a hallmark of the franchise. Much like Demon's Souls to Dark Souls, you could say that not much has changed with combat, but it's the nuances that longtime veterans will notice, and each game seems to take one step closer to perfection with every iteration. For example, Dark Souls 2 has made improvements to bow operations, altered shield mechanics, vastly improved the dual wielding system, added new weapon types, and more. Overall though, the combat feels very much the same at its core, very weighted and precise while punishing mistimed attacks or brash decisions, and encouraging a variety of tactics to take down your enemies. Such tactics may include swapping out your favored light armor for heavy, fire-resistant armor to suit a specific battle, or to utilize ranged abilities and spells in place of close-up and personal melee combat. Either way, there's a multitude of choices to arm your character to accommodate your playstyle to take down the most treacherous challenges that Dark Souls has to offer. Fortunately, no matter how daunting or bleak the world of Drangleic can feel, you never have to face those challenges alone. Whether it's advice etched on the floor urging you to be wary of danger around the corner, or summoning a phantom into your world to aid with the most perilous of bosses, Dark Souls Online functions are always a constant reminder that you're not the only one taking part in this epic struggle of death and triumph. The aspect of interacting with other players online is where Covenants play the biggest part. Phantoms who are other players wisp in and out of your world, nameless saviors or murderous invaders, and nothing gets your heart pumping quite like an unexpected invasion, and Covenants are a means to that end, rewarding you for aiding or killing other players depending on the Covenant's affiliations. Online is where Dark Souls 2 also makes one of its largest changes from a technical standpoint. Unlike the first Dark Souls 2 now has dedicated servers. Being summoned to co-op happens in a flash, and trying to summon or invade is no longer constantly plagued with failure to connect messages. There's obviously still latency issues here and there, but overall connectivity seems snappy, responsive, and vastly improved. Really, that's how the overall feel of the game is. A bit more slick and responsive. From character animations and flow of movements to the streamlined menu interfacing and blacksmithing upgrades, everything in Dark Souls 2 maintains the depth and complexity of what makes the franchise so fantastic, while also making it feel better to the touch. The Souls franchise is a series that's both renowned and infamous for not holding the player's hand. Whether you love it or hate it, this learn by experience, trial by fire, and complete vagueness is a core concept of the game. It's built into nearly every aspect of the franchise, from storytelling to combat. Part of what makes Dark Souls so special is that mystery it creates and the community's interactions to solve it. The stories of how we were defeated over and over again by Ornstein and Smough or the Ruined Sentinels, the messages etched in time to help others, and how as one we united our knowledge to crumble the challenges that stood in our way and reconstructed the broken history of the world one item description at a time. The vagueness that's characteristic of Dark Souls is what brings us together to adventure through this treacherous world. It sparks our curiosity and in turn has created one of the most vocal and passionate communities ever seen in gaming. Truly a reflection of the special and unique experience that is Dark Souls.